Hey folks, Connor from Nice Wheels here, and today we're going to give you an updated review on the Populo Sport V3. So in this review we'll go through some of the changes that Populo's made versus their V2 and V1 models, talk about the benefits that this bike can offer you, and talk about how it rides. So the Populo Sport is our most affordable bike at the shop at $999, and Populo's done a really good job at adding even more value into that price point with the V3. This bike is a Class 1 pedal assist only bike. It'll take you to speeds up to 20 miles an hour, and you have a 250 watt motor, which is a pretty zippy 250 watt, almost feels like 350, and you have a 36 volt 8.7 amp hour battery. These are slightly different batteries than you have from the V1 and V2 bikes. This is from a manufacturer called Hai Long. It's a very popular battery among do-it-yourself e-bike builders, so definitely a nice upgrade in comparison to the battery previous to it. So some nicer upgrades that the V3 has to offer. You have a more comfortable saddle on this bike. You're going to have ergonomic grips to help spread the weight out across your palm. Going to give you a more comfortable ride, even though the bike is a fairly aggressive riding position. You do have some nice mounting points for a bottle cage on the seat tube. You also have bosses for a rack, both front and rear. You have the same mounts on the fork and the rear frame, so it's going to make this bike incredibly functional for a single speed. So Populo's also updated the display unit on the bike. A little bit more easy to read, a little bit more intuitive. You have 9 modes of assist on the right hand side that you can scroll through with your plus and minus settings. You have the minus button using a double function. If you hold it down, will give you walk assist and give you a slight push with that motor. Helps with pushing the bike up hills, although it is a fairly light bike at 35 pounds. If you hold down the plus button, that's how you toggle your backlight. So you can get that on and off, and you can also tap here to switch through trip distance versus your odometer miles. In the middle you have your speedometer, and then on the left hand side you have your battery gauge, which also has 9 increments, so still a pretty good gauge of where you're at in terms of how much distance you can travel before you have to charge it up. So the V3 version of the Populo Sport is definitely a lot more enjoyable to ride. The main points being the touch points with the saddle and grip are definitely a big improvement. While they may not seem like much, definitely improves the quality of the ride. The pedal assist on this bike is going to be engaged by a cadence sensor, so it may take about 3/4 of a full pedal rotation before you get that pedal assist to kick in for you. But if you have it cranked up all the way to the top level of assist, it's going to get you to 20 miles an hour pretty quickly for a 250 watt motor. Some more realistic range estimates on this bike will probably be between 10 and 20 miles per charge, depending on what mode you're using, how often you stop and go, and how many hills you climb, as well as the size of the person using it, which is still pretty efficient for a bike at this price point. So while there are some trade-offs on the bike, being $999, you're not going to get the most range and power and performance out of this that you may see on some other bikes. But it's going to probably be a fraction of the price of some of those other bikes that are out there, and still brings a lot of value to the table. If you're looking for a low maintenance city commuter, this is a great bike to choose. You do have the ability to put front and rear racks on there, and you could always buy a fender set that mounts to the frame, really making it a fully functional daily driver. Thanks so much for watching our review on the Populo Sport V3. Be sure to check out our channel for more videos, and like, share, and subscribe, as well as turn on your notifications to let you know when we release new videos.